not the same thing though. Like if I'm
It's the same action.
to your home and it's very simple. If I'm coming to your home, I want to rape your wife and I kill your children. That you're murdering me. You're killing me. You're not murdering me.
I understand we're using a different word to describe the same action because it's based on its morality. That doesn't really answer the question. So English has provided us with words that doesn't change. In both examples, if I walk into your home and put a spear through your neck, or if you come into my home with the intent that you just mentioned and I put a spear through your neck, it's the exact same action.
Because
one's moral, one's immoral.
I don't see it as the same action. Well, I see what you're saying because you're saying you're ending one's life, therefore it's meaning regardless of why.
Okay, Tiny Tim, know your place. You're not following any conversations, or shut up. Thank you.
Shut the fuck up, Cuddy. Oh wait, is he gonna kick me because he's a little bitch? Go.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I think it's different. Because the intentions, so depends on how you're cooking things. The way I see it is, yes, you're ending life either way, but you're ending life to preserve life. I think that to be a different action.
Okay, correct. But you can say that in Simon's paradigm too. You're eating a banana to further your life. I'm eating a banana with asking will kill me. It's the same action. It's doing two different things.
I'm to agree, not fully, because it's not it's not up to me to decide that. I'm not the one saying. I believe because of first for my life, none of this is bad because I'm not the one getting raped.
Okay, but now we're back to the situation that I agree with. Now you're saying is that the way he came to its moral paradigm is where we're about paradigm. The way he came to his moral paradigm. When you came to your moral paradigm,
we're up against some series.
Exactly.
Which actions? Because in actions we could be in the same place.
Actually, I mean, it depends how you look at it.
But he could do the same thing that you're doing. He could say that.
For what he does, mine is based on an objective standard.
That I agree with.
That's my only contention.
Right, and I'm just sharpening your point. I get it.
I mean, I think most people end up getting like very flexible. Like, for example, in a circumstance of war, it's like, okay, well, is it completely immoral to be a soldier and fucking kill?
Okay,
I don't think it is.
Don't further this conversation.
My brother Rabbi, where did you go? I was listening to one.
Well,
I go wherever the Lord takes me. And right now,
if your government is telling you to go over somewhere and fight, then are you absolved of it being your choice and therefore it's not a moral thing?
Listen, again, these details don't really further this conversation. Once we have a moral paradigm, we can discuss does this situation fit into it. But I understand that it's not as black and white as saying sometimes ending someone's life is killing, sometimes ending someone's life is murder. That we agree on, right? What the cases are, and when you're in a war situation and there's 15 soldiers ready to kill you, and you throw a bomb and kill 20, and you saved your life by killing 5 innocents, is that okay? Like, we can go down this rabbit holes, but they don't further this conversation.
I don't believe that that's always moral, you see. I don't believe it's always moral to.
Okay, fine, that's fair, but that's not this conversation.
Right, that's not position, correct. But I mean, for the sake of answering him very quickly, it depends on many things. For example, if your government, so obey your government as long as it obeys God. So if your government is telling you go kill, we have war, okay, but is the government in obedience to God or not? If it is, then we do war. If it's not, then we don't do war. Again, that's not. I'm not the one determining. It's not up to me. To him, it is up to him because it depends on his life. It is objective in as much as it relates to him, but that makes it subjective. He cannot understand. He cannot fathom it. He cannot compute.
Objectivity is circumstances after the paradigm is set. Then it's all based on objectivity.
You believe in Torah, correct?
I do. Well, not
okay. So it says what? It says that you cannot share your wife, correct?
You cannot what?
Share your wife. Adultery is not okay. It says Leviticus chapter 20. but they believe in Torah. It is still immoral to them.
It's intrinsically immoral, not just because of the feelings of the people involved.
Yeah,
Right.
but in Simon's paradigm,
And
that's
an objectivist would say it's completely up to consent, and if they all agree, then it's okay. Iran actually did that. She cheated on her husband. I don't know.
Certainly she did.
no, I thought it's that. But regardless, so then what? Then again, that's why it's like Islam, because to him, then cuckoldry is sometimes okay and immoral, and sometimes
But
immoral.
that's where I lose you. That's not fair to say because that's his objective standard. Again, the paradigm was created subjectively, but the objective standard is consent. And in one situation, there's consent between all the parties involved. So he would say the only problem with cheating is that you're breaking your vows. But if the husband releases you of the vows temporarily, then that's perfectly okay.
Then it's not cheating.
What if you consent that you know what? You know why that's retarded? Because okay, I consent to killing myself. Why is suicide not?
He
Why
would
is
say
suicide?
that's okay. He wouldn't have a problem with that.
No, he would have a problem with that because good
I
is
don't
what
think so.
furthers.
Let's ask him. I don't think so.
Good is what furthers your life.
Yeah, but that's only as far as you subjectively want to further your life.
But that, I mean, that's so retarded. That's I
I
don't think
get the problem.
This is cherry picking.
it is cherry
Thinking what?
It is because if I consent to killing myself, then that should be good. But oh no, good is only what furthers your life.
I'm curious on this one. Let's ask him. I think you would be okay with
No way.
that.
He won't answer it. He will not answer.
This
it.
is
Like,
human,
no,
right?
no.
This is human.
He still didn't answer if sacrificing your children for your own sake is good. He's saying, oh, it depends.
Yes.
Okay, but see, that's the thing. The act itself is moral or immoral, and there's nuances. But there's an object. So I have an objective standard with an objective method, and the act itself, like you said, killing and murder, you're ending life still. But these two are driven by different things, to the point where I would say they're different actions. Killing you for fun is different than killing you to protect my wife. Let's just say.
What about sleeping with your mother?
Sleeping with your mother is well, again, according to him, that's okay if your mother.
What? It's okay.
I mean, he will be forced to say that.
Is it consensual?
Yeah, he will be forced to.
Yeah.
He's consistent. Yes, he has to say that. He has to say it is moral.
His only standard is consent.
So it has to be moral.
Yeah, I don't think you would have a problem with that. I think you would just say consent.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that's
how
what-
did he know that this is immoral? This is the question. How does he know that?
It does boil down to that the fact that he believes action itself cannot be moral or immoral. But that makes you like Muhammad. Because Muhammad said raping sometimes is okay, sometimes it's not. Killing is sometimes okay, sometimes murdering, not killing. Murdering is sometimes okay, sometimes not. So like okay. But you're right, he does draw.
We're kind of saying the same things, so.
Huh?
We're kind of saying the same thing, though. We
Well,
really,
it's
like,
that-
boiled
And it is true.
outside the race.
I didn't think about it before, but he does have consent as the only standard because he does say like if you rape someone, that's not okay because that's consent. You're violating your consent.
Because you're forced. Initiation of force is always bad. Consent is the single standard completely.
Okay, so but if you're trying to kill me and then I rape you, I didn't initiate the force.
Yeah, but the rape has no, unless somehow you show me how the rape will stop the onslaught.
So that
You're
would
just
be an issue.
responding with a new initiation of force.
That would be an issue, you see, because if you try to kill me, then I believe it's okay if I kill you.
Correct.
He would.
He says it
he would
because
agree.
you didn't initiate force. I'll agree with that too.
Wait.
Now, if you rape,
No, to me, not to him, to me.
But wait, if someone wanna kill me and I rape them,
Hold on, Frankie.
Frank,
You wanna kill
wait a
me?
minute, Frank.
If you want to kill me and because of that I kill you, in my paradigm I can justify that. I cannot justify if you want to kill me, I rape you. In his paradigm, I think he would have to.
No, he won't, because he would say the only time you can respond with force is to stop the individual initiation of force. So unless you can show how this rape will prevent the original force, meaning this person trying to kill you, then you're just initiating a new force, which is
No, I'm
again,
saying,
evil.
oh,
You can't respond evil with evil, because you're now initiating force, but for no reason.
well, for example, let's swarm with me. I am a degenerate incel. The last time I had sex was like 35 years ago. You came to me and you want to kill me. So I raped you satisfy my needs to push my life forward, and then I killed you. You're gonna die anyway, so let me rape you first.
No, he wouldn't agree with that because you initiated force. That extra rape was initiation of force. That would be similar to shooting someone in the back. They come at you, they're ready to rob you, you pull out your gun, you start running, you shoot them in
But
the
where
back.
did you die? Because like, okay,
Where did I what?
killing you in retaliation to you trying
Not in retaliation, in prevention.
for killing you in prevention of you trying to kill me, could be argued to be a new force.
Well, he won't. He would say that's a response to the original force.
But that's subjective.
I don't know. I don't know if that's subjective because you're objectively responding to force. So it means again, the entire paradigm is consent. Whoever violates that consent is considered the initiator of force.
But you see what I have to do with that is because then underlying implicit is the assumption that the force must be of an equal magnitude.
Not of equal magnitude, of a equal remedy. It could be you're coming with a knife and I blow you up with an atom bomb. I only kill you somehow. I don't know.
No,
Like that's fine.
Moral for put you in the head if you come at me with a knife.
It's moral to do what?
It's very moral to shoot you in the head if you're coming at me.
Yeah, I'll have no problem with that because that's the way you prevented the force. But if you initiate a brand new force, that's a problem. And that would fit the paradigm of saying, if I come at you with a knife, you pull a gun, so I turn around and run, and you shoot me in the back of the head. That's immoral.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But
Right.
okay, but and again, you can cook things indefinitely. What if it pushes my life forward to make sure that you won't turn back again and try to kill me? So I'm gonna
Okay,
shoot.
so there's a contradiction that you keep bringing up, which I agree with you. It's not only pushing your life forward, it's pushing your life forward without initiating force. So you cannot push your life forward. So let me ask something else. If I run out of resources and I make a raiding party and steal the next guy's resources, that's an initiation of force. It pushes my life forward. I'm now richer. You would not say that's okay.
Yeah, I guess where I'm confused is because you charged at me, right, with a knife.
Right.
I took my gun out. You ran away like a sissy boy. But it still pushes my life forward to have the peace of mind knowing that you won't just turn and throw a knife at me. So I'm not.
So let's make the story simpler. You have your net worth is $500,000. You would live a much better life if your net worth was $10 million. So you make a raiding party, you get a couple of your friends, and you steal a bunch of money, and now you're worth $10 million. It objectively pushed your life forward. No one's denying that. But you initiated force. He would say that's not okay. So pushing life forward is not the sole standard. The sole standard is consent.
But my issue is, this is my issue. The reason why I go back to the previous example is because it gets blurry who initiated the force.
You initiate the force because your rape does not prevent the.
No, forget the rape. Forget that. I'm talking. You came at me with a knife. I took
Correct.
it. You ran away. I still shot you because I believe.
You initiated force because when I turned around,
you came at me first.
Okay, but that situation has ended. I turned around. It's
Yeah, but you
eliminated.
don't turn around again.
Okay, so now you're adding more layers. You're saying that this person keeps coming at you and I.
No, I'm not saying he keeps, but I'm saying just in case, I will.
Okay, so we have to assess the reality of that. Is that a real threat? Is that going to happen? That you now prove like that's just adding layers of complication. But let's try to keep it simple. If you know for sure that person is not, or any reasonable, they're not going to turn around and come at you again, then you're initiating a new force. If you think that this is a threat that's going to repeat itself, and the only way to neutralize the threat is with a bullet to the head, then you're not initiating force because the force is still being initiated against you, just right now the person's being turned around.
That's interesting now.
But we have to add the complexity to it because reality is complex. What if there's persistence of that?
Well, let me give an example. That there's an altercation occurred. You defended yourself, ended up killing someone's son. You know the father is going to come to kill you. Like it's an eye for an eye scenario. You know that he's going to come to try to kill you. In that scenario, if he runs out and turns around because whatever, he has a knife or he thinks you're by surprise, is it immoral to shoot him in the back of the head?
That's a good example. The father.
Yeah.
The father, you need to kill the son.
Yeah, so listen, playing around with examples can go on forever, but the point is, in your paradigm, what just happened now was, this force has not ended by the man turning around. That just ended for the moment. The person will turn around again and come at you. So you're not initiating force. The entire moral structure is who initiated force. Then we can keep talking about who
talking about force because he I think fundamentally views the idea that your morals are based off of God in any way, shape, or form as a force, that you're being forced inherently to choose things a certain way.
No, because
That's what he thinks. That's how he views it. I'm telling you, that's why he said that you can't be moral if you're a religious person.
he does that because he understands that there's free will. Like I told him a million times, yes, I choose that objective standard upon which there's an objective he chooses standard upon which there's an objective method.
No, but my thing, is he still in the room? Because I'd love to ask him.
Oh, you're on the way.
Because you could apply the same sort of thinking that I think he's applying here to just a law in general. Like it is illegal to kill somebody, so therefore, because I don't kill somebody, I want to obey the law, right? Then it's like this is the sort of paradigm that he looks at it. He would say if it's a religious law, then you're incapable of like using reason or thinking through something. You're just obeying.
Okay, but that's my issue with that, is that he is more obedient because he's incapable of
I know. I agree.
Even if it's a secular law, you would say the same thing. If
Exactly.
the only reason I don't murder is because
Why
I'm
do I have
afraid
to
of the government, he would not call that moral.
Why do I have to respect consent? That is a law that he's following.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
with that.
I think he might not say it's immoral, but he would say that you're incapable of doing anything that's moral, I believe.
No, I didn't say it's immoral. It's not moral. It's immoral. It's
Yeah.
neutral.
Imagine thinking the religious are immoral.
No, he thinks they're amoral. He thinks that there's no morality.
Yeah.
There's following of the rules. It's not necessarily immoral. It can be. Because he's not looking at actions. He's
He
saying,
didn't say that in this room. He just literally said they are inherently immoral.
I don't remember.
No, I asked. He said that they cannot be moral. That they cannot make a decision or an action that he would consider moral. Period. No matter
I
what
would
decision.
agree with that to a certain point. If you're forced by your government to have moral action, but you would love to break them, I wouldn't call you a moral person. You're just forced into morality for the moment.
Sure,
But that's if they correct.
Okay, so he's taking that one step further and saying if your methodology of getting to morality was dictated to you by a deity, then that's not moral because you have to come onto it with your own.
Well, but it doesn't boil down to this morality. Is it truly moral? Like that's what.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he's going to have to admit, that all of his only starts after that subjective choosing. But all philosophies do. All philosophies, I use reason to prove reason, and that's a paradox, but there's no way around this. Like, you always have to start from somewhere. I think even Descartes, when he said, I think therefore I am, was saying, we're not going any further than this, because we'll never end. So I'm just going to accept this and move forward.
Yeah, I mean, we all presuppose certain things, like the faculty of the mind. We also
Right, so
presuppose
I
that.
think therefore I am, muzzled in an eye. And he's
Right. So I have no issue with that.
Right, but he said to admit that, and then we can move forward, because we all.
But you see, that's another issue. So if you talk, he does not believe that he presupposes anything.
Yeah, that's where his ideological failure falls apart.
Yes, because epistemology does rest on presupposition.
Right. Everything does. By the way, the people that believe in science, whichever that means, they also fall apart because the whole ideology of the philosophy of science is that the world is discoverable and empirical evidence can get us somewhere. That's a predisposed ideology.
So that's another. Like 1 month ago, we had like hour-long fight over this. The guy literally does not seem to understand that epistemology does rest on presupposition, regardless what epistemology you have. You are presupposing
Okay,
things
he
like
would do a lot better if he would just say, I accept this, and now I'm just taking everything objectively after that. And again, it's just all over the place, but when they asked Hawking what came before the Big Bang, he said that's like asking what's more south than South Pole. And although I disagree with that's like asking what's more south than the South Pole. He avoided the question, and I don't. Yeah. I disagree with his atheism, but I think he has the right to say I'm not going further than this.
I don't know. Yeah.
But they all do it. That's my point. We can argue about that case, but the point that everybody does that, and he has the right to do that too. He just has to admit that he's doing that.
Exactly. He has to admit that he's doing it, which he cannot do. He cannot admit that he's presupposing. He just simply does not want to do that. So again, go to Chef ChatGPT presuppositions of objectivism, Ayn Rand's objectivism, and you'll find contradictions. Like literally, literally, reality is what it is, regardless of perception. However, we perceive reality. They're opposed to empiricism, yet they employ it to identify that reality, which is what it is. It's amazing. That's a contradiction in presuppositions. So it's okay for you to have presuppositions, but for your presupposition, it depends on which presuppositions. We all presuppose, but then when you presuppose conflicting things, that becomes a problem. You just can't come to terms. I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one who
I
notices
asked
it.
Claude, but it didn't understand my question.
You asked what?
Claude, what are the preconceived notions of objectivism? But it's just telling me.
What the hell's Claude?
Claude is another.
Anthropic.
Oh, it's better than ChatGPT?
I don't know.
Certain things.
From what I told, it does better coding, but I don't use it for coding.
Oh, it is better at coding.
Oh, really? Then that's exactly what I need. Shit.
Try it.
I'm using Chef ChatGPT for coding.
Oh, I mean, you can make
It
these.
doesn't mean that ChatGPT is bad for coding, but Claude, I've used it like 1 or 2 times, and I wrote pieces of code in Python. I can't read the code, I just trust it.
Well,
Yeah, well,
about code, I mean, Simon is totally coded. Do you guys know?
Well, that's a different
He
code.
literally mind quotes. He responds, like he cannot factor anything that he cannot respond to with a quote. Do you guys notice that, or am I hallucinating?
That critique is a little.
sounds like you're describing a religion, dude.
No, that's not the religion. That's someone who is like hyper. Like imagine me responding to you only in Bible quotes.
I know Christians that do that.
Yeah, but they're not Christian. They're Protestant, and yeah, that's retarded. That's
Oh,
not,
come on.
that's
It
not
doesn't have to be a Bible quote, but there's a lot of similarity. I think that his view is that he doesn't fully understand it completely, and he knows that, and that he will eventually fully understand it, so he wants to learn.
I just think he doesn't want to admit that he's taking some preconceived notions. But when he says his quotes, I think he understands the quotes and he's responding. He just is afraid to admit that there is a preconceived notions that he's accepting. He has to come to terms with that.
The reason I say that is because you go ahead, do it as an exercise. Go on YouTube, check the Ayn Rand interviews. There's a lot of them. Okay, some of them 30 minutes, some of them more. So watch them, and you will see how this dude doesn't paraphrase. He quotes, like the guy literally watched all the
But he's
memorized word by word what she said.
Oh, it could be, but he's quoting in the right place, in the right context, and he definitely had a lot of memorization, but he also quotes from the book and understands where they're trying to apply. So I wouldn't say it's a lot of understanding. What you did to him today was the biggest. You called it dogmatic. You called it a Muslim. Like that's what he's running from.
It is worse than Muslim though.
It's relevant. That's where he's afraid to admit, because he's afraid that as soon as he says, I'm accepting this as dogmatic, and then I'm going to build it from there, and then he has to accept religion.
Right, so he has his own theology.
But he can't admit that it's theology.
I know he can't, but it is. I mean, that's what Ayn Rand was doing. Literally, she was creating God in her own image. It's amazing. It's
Well,
beautiful.
she admits that in her book, that she has a shrine to a human, because she believes that God is human. I mean, she doesn't deny
This
that.
is cherry picking. Like
It's what
he's
you're
admitting,
What, Frank?
bro,
She
he's
says-
understanding that he's wrong, but he's still arguing with you.
Yeah.
That's
This
not
is a
cherry
problem. Like, look, I don't have any problem with him. No, because he understands that it's wrong. What he think about, I try to talk to him a lot of times.
That's
You
not
know,
cherry
about
picking.
his.
Cherry
It
picking
isn't cherry picking.
No, cherry
Because he
picking is.
picks. No, listen. He picks when he say yes and when he picks no. There is no constant thinking.
The term cherry picking means if I want to prove
He
my
picks an argument. I know.
Okay. The term cherry picking means if I want to prove my kids and I have A, B, C, D, I can say A, C, J, and F, and I see.
Yeah, and this is what he's doing. So when you
No,
bring
no,
the argument A,
No.
well, ask him when you bring the argument A, I bring the argument B. He say no, it doesn't make sense. We need to go to C. This is what this is the problem. But he knows he's in the wrong. Like, look, even we don't know a lot of philosophy and all that stuff. But the problem is his whole mindset goes to this book, and it's wrong.
Yeah. It is only in this book. And so it's like exactly like the Quran without hadith.
Yeah.
And the Quran is the truth, and it is the truth because it tells me it is the truth, and all truths are in it. That this is literally his perspective towards objectivism. Objectivism is the truth, and it is the fullness of the truth, and I know it's the truth because it tells me it is truth. That's it. No outside sources, no nothing. And again, there's an issue with that because look, I mean, you said there's people who just literally respond with the Bible quotes to everything, but that's just not a reasonable person. Anyone can memorize and just spit things. That's what I'm saying. But let's deal with hypotheticals. Like, let's have a normal conversation, man. I don't know. From my side, I love Simon like my child, but I do see that he is he is programmed. The guy is literally programmed.
We're all programmed to an extent. I don't have an issue with the dogmatic sort of stance so much as I find it weird that is measuring the way he goes about measuring religious people as basically ridiculous and not using reason. That same it's the same reason why he will not budge or acknowledge certain things, because there's a standard or a book.
He can't admit it because he's rebelling against his Christian youth, and he cannot admit that because then he follows the same route.
Well, but I mean, look, you can be an atheist, and I don't know if he hates. He's actually genuinely rebelling.
No, he genuinely not. He was taken to. He says it. He was taken to church, and at 7 years old, he decided that God is not real. He was still forced to go to church, and he hates Christianity, and he thinks it's immoral and it's altruistic, and Jesus dying on the cross has destroyed humanity.
I know he thinks religion has been a negative, but if you're truly asking yourself the question of the idea of a God, Christianity is irrelevant. Any one single religion is irrelevant.
But that's an issue because he believes, for example, Jesus dying on the cross is immoral because he sacrificed himself for the sake of others. Again, but that's sacrifice.
Well, there's all kinds of weird shit though on all sides.
But it literally said there's no better love than sacrificing yourself for your friends, because that's love. Love is immoral in his paradigm. Love is immoral. Because I said it, there is no love without sacrifice, man. If you don't sacrifice for your wife in any way, shape, or form, you don't love her. Period. So again, love in his paradigm is immoral. Hey, from our perspective, it's very clear. If you say good things are bad and bad things are good, you're satanic.
I mean, yeah, but you can if we're gonna talk about the dogmatic shit, we can play the same game. We can say, if God is capable of all things, then why would he have to sacrifice himself in order to save? Or he wouldn't have to do that action in itself in order to save our souls or whatever.
Look, if you listen to Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20, woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Very beautiful. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. Amazing. I don't know. It does.
I believe in God.
How long are you guys gonna talk about him? Because he's not even here. Simon is not here. Not right now. So stupid.
39 again. Not investment advice.
June says doesn't move his finger for such low profits.
That's true. Well, you got to just buy a lot of size. Buy 100,000 shares. There you go.
The plan is that they're also going to do Bitcoin, software products and stuff, and try and create an operating business.
No, it's not.
That's a great business
No,
model.
no, it's
Software
not.
and stuff. That's what Mueller said in the announcement of the company.
Go look at page 100 of the S1. It'll tell you what their business plan is. That's not their business plan.
But yeah, no, the business plan is software and stuff. I heard it.
Zach, you know, I mean, a lot of miners,
The CEO of
like, they're gonna
Foundry
mine
said-
Bitcoin. Yeah.
Business strategy. Software and network services, commercial real estate services, asset management, loan servicing, and financing operations.
Software and network services, I think that's what I said.
But they can do anything else besides that,
Correct.
anything.
But,
Real
but
estate,
when the founder and CEO announced what they were doing and said that they were going to build software products around Bitcoin, I think it's probably a good sign that that might be where they start.
I got a bridge to sell.
I mean, Zach, the CEO of Mara said that they were gonna mine Bitcoin. I don't think Mara's ever mined any Bitcoin.
This is all I'm
We
saying.
can't really
is
talk about Mara,
read yes.
I mean,
Start on
this
page
is getting
100.
complicated. I think the important thing to realize here is that the number goes up.
When it converts to XXI, then I'd start to slowly do it because these are the inside guys. Like I said, they're all the smart guys. You can trade the SPAC now. Oh, by the way, they have 24 months to convert the SPAC. And if they don't do it in 24 months, all the money goes back. Or they can
24
extend out. Yes, and they can extend out the length of time to try to SPAC, to de-SPAC.
I don't know if that's enough time, John. 24 months is pretty quick.
I'm just saying, but that's just typical typical boilerplate stuff, but that's, so, they could de-SPAC in 2 months.
Cannot de-SPAC.
That's too long. Yeah, well, I think they probably want to de-SPAC it within the year, turn it into XXI, and then try to make a business out of it. It's not a business right now, there's no business. It's just a bunch of people who put money into a thing and are trying to get you to put money into it too. Nothing wrong with that.
Don't hate on our Ponzi scheme, bro. It's working.
I told you, I'm telling you, not investment advice. Looks like you can buy it at 30, sell it at 39. Johnson, you're the expert. You're the man. Go, baby.
Don't listen to Judson. He already sold. He's not part of this Ponzi.
You can't buy it at 30 anymore. You gotta buy it at 33.
Thing to celebrate with. Patience. It'll get back to 30. Patience.
Just bought John. I'm down 7%.
John, I don't know why you're trying to make John sense of this money, but I don't like this.
All right, then don't.
White people been
let's not
doing
buy
this
it.
to black people for years.
Let's buy it at 22 instead. Anyway, so I kind of looked at it a little bit. It's typical. It's nothing new, except it's got it's Jack Mallers, and we're going to be the next MicroStrategy. Okay.
All I know is I got half a Bitcoin today.
Yeah, you can buy a steak. You should be buying steaks for everybody, man.
Fuck you.
Come on, don't be such a Scrooge.
Yeah, Joseph, that's how you should
Don't call him that, okay? Desi called him that, and he kicked her out of the room forever.
That's not true.
Judson is my new financial advisor.
My friend is so mad. I told him, he's like, I lost out on $1,000. I said 1,300.
That's right. They haven't even ramped up the PR side yet. Wait till all the people that they pay on X to tell you how great it is. And
They're already posting for free on X. It's like nothing but people posting in caps.
And all the
It's ridiculous.
and all the chat room and all the
They named it ZEP instead of 21 Capital right away.
all the chat rooms. I mean, they're gonna ramp this bad boy up, man. They're gonna fucking they're gonna just look. It's basing at 32. I'm telling you, the chart looking good. 5-minute chart.
Yup, I call these pump and jumps.
Well, it went from being amazing CGI for the dragon fights.
Yes, it went from being a cultural phenomenon to nobody watching it. I literally know like 2 people that have rewatched the show after it. I think it was worse.
Yeah,
for
no,
people
because that's
that
how cultural
actually-
phenomenon works. Same thing happened with Harry Potter. Was Harry Potter really such a great book, or was it the advent of the internet and we had young adult fiction that was popular enough at exactly the peak, and then it's shared. The whole thing with Game of Thrones was that people were surprised. No one watched it in season 1. It was after the finale of season 1 when Ned Stark dies. Everyone needs to know because everyone's going crazy about something that happened, and then that keeps drawing them in with these surprise deaths, and then that became its
like an obsessed cinephile, and he watches a gazillion shows. It's one of the shows that we like watched as soon as it came out. And I stopped after 2 episodes and I never just watched them.
Which one? Game of Thrones? The original one? Oh my god. I love him. He's so smart.
So, like, you know, with my, like, I've seen scenes when my brother is watching, you know, like, I'm like, you know, in the living room, and I walk by and I see, like, parts, like, so I've seen a bunch and I know, like, what's going on throughout the seasons. I just never watched, like, the full
You know what? You know what happened? The first time I watched it was with my brother, and the first episode, it's such a small part. It's not like I'm telling you a big plot. Like, but it's only just the first episode. It ends with like two people who are related, you know, having SEX. And as soon as I seen that, I couldn't watch after that. I couldn't watch it. It took me months. Yeah, for months I couldn't. Nargis, they're brother and sister. It wasn't just SEX. It was the fact that it was their brother and sister. As soon as I saw that, I wanted to vomit, and I couldn't watch it for months.
Oh,
and then finally, I just gave in.
Then I'm gonna vomit throughout the series called The Bourgeois.
Yeah, there's more gruesome stuff.
There's like, it's a lot of incest.
And by the way, that's like half of the thing with HBO. Like, they're expensive and they can have tits and vulgarity.
Yeah.
So like, that's half of their brand. They have to justify that with like their ridiculous budgets and like the private premium subscription to get onto HBO. So it's not surprising that in literally every episode of Game of Thrones there are boobs.
No, but you know what happened? Except the woman, when they started getting more leverage, they started signing a waiver saying, no, I'm not going to do any of the
That's
scenes.
irrelevant. There's always an extra. There's always a whorehouse that needs to be visited. Some guy.
There's a hole in the story, bitches.
They actually, no, he's right. He's right. They actually had a real sex worker, and she was beautiful. She had ginger hair. Do you guys remember her character? She had ginger hair.
But to me, the girlfriend
Yeah.
of her on the in the
Exactly.
show was
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, she was a porn actress, and she had ginger hair, and I think she got killed. I can't remember if it was the little crazy king that killed her.
Your favorite. Sex in the City, The Sopranos,
Yeah.
which has a nightclub, a stripper club, as like one of the prime locations.
Yeah,
I'm just explaining something like the mechanics, the capitalism.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well.
Yeah, but in the last 20 years at least, with TV shows and films as well, there's no buffer zone where you get from a scene into the sex scene. Like when I was growing up in the 90s, there was some music, maybe the camera's outside the apartment block, you hear some saxophones, it goes to the curtain.
The birds and the
You see,
bees,
like,
Matthew.
You see the clothes on the floor. But now it's just, there's a beautiful scene, really nice scene, really like a father and son relationship, and then suddenly, bang, 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 bang. Like but you can't watch it with kids, you can't watch it with anything. I don't like this. And I think at some point they're going to stop it.
Programming.
Just give like a 10-second buffer.
That's
Just some preparation.
Even for the adults. Like, there's no warm-up.
Like, can we just have
There's no warning.
There's no warning, there's no warm-up.
Nudity.
There's no foreplay.
I mean, nudity is one thing, sex is another thing, but they'll go from a really calm
When you
scene,
discuss
and then
the
there's
law.
just the most violent, sexy ever.
Oh my god.
It's just the most. They're doing everything to just
Yes.
like, right?
Right. I was watching I think it was Criminal Minds, and it ended, and this new show Glades came on, and my dad was in the living room, and it started off with this girl on top of a guy, and my dad got up, literally just left the room and was talking about it for weeks, because he wanted the whole channel taken out from our list of TV channels. That's how extreme.
Your dad is flight. I'm kind of just like, I freeze. I don't move, I barely breathe. I just literally, like, I don't breathe, I don't move, I don't twitch, I don't blink. I just stay there frozen until it ends.
To answer your questions I made before, was Peter Dinklage's character murdered the girl because she slept with his dad. That's why.
Oh no. Okay, so that actress I don't think is a sex worker in real life. I'm saying there's a girl.
She's German.
Oh, is she?
German.
Oh.
She's a real porn actress. So the other one you were
okay.
talking about was Beth,
The white one.
or like the girl that worked in the whorehouse. Yeah.
Yes, they're both beautiful women. Yeah, so they got real of them. But I wasn't talking about them. I was talking about the main actresses like Amelia and like the rest of them. They started putting a clause saying we're not going to do this, or we're not going to do this, and we're not going to do this. And I just think it's a bit annoying because like that's no, I don't watch it. But what I find annoying, I skip through those scenes, right? But what I find annoying is that you sign up for acting, and that there's an aspect of art in acting where that's what you do. If you can't you see what's happening with Blake Lively, right? If you can't do an intimate scene, then maybe you shouldn't. Like, then maybe you're not a good actress. Like, you see Kate Winslet, she does every scene. She's naked in every scene.
A balance.
She's an amazing actress. Yeah, she's an amazing actress.
DiCaprio would have been saved if she was a little bit less faster, I think, in the Titanic. I mean, honestly, like that iceberg could have fitted two people in it.
Yeah, and that literally destroyed a lot of people. You know, I'll never let you go. Okay, all right.
Justice for Leo, he saved her life.
Just let him go for 2 seconds.
Yeah, you know what's so funny?
She got the iceberg and she left him.
Yeah. You know what's hilarious? This guy named what's his name? He's the father of Justin Bieber's wife. Something Baldwin, not Alec Baldwin. It's the other Stephen Baldwin. He's doing a podcast that's the worst movie you. He calls it the worst movie you have ever seen or something like that. But this guy is hilarious, okay? He's running around talking about which actresses and actors are terrible, and he actually said Leonardo DiCaprio is a bad actor. I was shocked by it. How could you say that?
Stephen Baldwin said that?
Stephen Baldwin, yeah, he said Leo's overrated. Yeah, he's...
Sucks himself.
Yeah, the audacity. Have you seen...
No, he's just a critic. No, he wasn't comparing himself though. He's just a critic. Like, to be fair, but I don't understand how he thinks Leo sucks. No, it's not Alec.
No, it's Stephen Baldwin.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan's dad. No, what's his name? Yeah, he's just more of a critic. Yeah.
But overrated is different from being bad though. Like overrated, I can understand. Like a lot of people are like, oh, like everything he does is amazing, and he should have like 20 Oscars. That's too much. He's not like he's good. He's very, very good.
Yeah, but you can't say he's
does.
bad.
Yeah, but overrated, Matthew. Like a movie doesn't instantly become better just because he's in it.
Yeah, you can't say he's not a good actor or he's a bad actor. That's retarded.
Yeah, but overrated is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Do tell me why Leonardo DiCaprio was getting so much beef for being Ruby in some kind of BBC show that I was reading about. Like, what's the deal with that? Did you hear about that, Matthew?
What happened?
No.
Leonardo DiCaprio being portrayed as Rumi. Jalaluddin Rumi.
Oh, Iranian. Yeah.
Yeah,
what was the beef about?
Well, it's just because you don't want, you don't want someone who's a star to play, especially if you're trying to act as a really significant individual in history. You don't want someone like ultra famous. You think like Passion of Christ, you wouldn't want Tom Hanks playing Jesus, right? So the difficulty for a director is just going to be to firstly take you out of, you've just come back from work, or you've come back from whatever, you're going to go to the cinema, you want an experience. The biggest thing they've got to do is take you not just to a different location geographically, but take you to a completely different age, whether it's 7th century Arabia or 1st century, I don't know, Palestine or whatever it is. So it's tough. You don't want any distractions.
Why is that there?
Because everyone's going to see Leo. You can't accept the suspension of disbelief because you're just going to see Leo there. It's the same problem with Joaquin Phoenix in Napoleon. Like I see Joaquin Phoenix, I don't see Napoleon.
Yeah, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix
He done a great job, by the way.
He did amazing in Gladiator. Yeah.
like City of God. You take something like City of God, where you've got these kids running around. Some of the best acting in that film, City of God, right?
Agreed.
I mean, I certainly would do that. I would all,
Brand new talent, new blood.
Well, yeah, like it's real. The aim is to bring authenticity, and every change from modern day life is a difficult job. You take someone to a different culture, take them to a different land, and you take them to a different time. And the further back you go in time, the more difficult it is. I call it the immersion time. So it's like when you immerse a goldfish into new water, it needs to be gentle, right? You need to bring that but you can't take too long because you're already at the end of the first act. So the idea is to remove as many distractions as you can, and you can't do that with a big star like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand.
Yeah, drowning Leo and then Rumi. Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't like, I didn't hear of any kind of big backlash of, there's nothing.
I thought it would be because of his race, because he's not he's white, right?
He's a white guy and he's playing the Turkish Persian guy.
I think they should get the kid that did the actor that did he played that famous, what's that band, Bohemian Rhapsody? What's that band?
Queen?
The Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal.
Oh, Rami Malek.
Yes, Rami. Yeah, I think he would be amazing, Rumi.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
such a great movie, man. That was such a good movie. I think Bohemian Rhapsody was a really good one. I cried a lot after that movie.
I actually didn't think it was that good, Narjas. I will explain why.
Why?
It was rumored for a long time that Sacha Baron Cohen was going to portray Freddie Mercury, right? But he had a meeting.
Probably would have been much better.
He had a meeting with the band where they explained their vision for this project, right? They wanted it to be about the band, but the band is not interesting. The interesting character is Freddie Mercury, right? But they couldn't accept the fact that Brian May and all these people around him, like the band itself, was
Well,
not
that
the
doesn't mean
star.
it's over. That just means that they made the movie they wanted, and
Exactly.
later Sacha Baron Cohen can make the movie he wants.
Yeah, but
So
Rami's mouth is much bigger. Rami's mouth is much bigger. You need someone to really.
Yeah, of course, but it's not the mouth, it's the story. What story are you trying to tell, right?
Yeah, and it's just Rami Malek is like an understated actor. He usually does better with smaller things. Whereas,
like Mr.
Freddie Mercury himself is a loud caricature of a human being. Sacha Baron Cohen, who made his bones pretending to be loud, ridiculous characters, he's really perfect for it.
I think so.
Riri,
I
another name drop. Sasha went to my school. There you go,
Oh,
Riri.
you told me that before.
And I knew his brother. I was friends with his brother, Eric.
Are you feeling overwhelmed, tense, anxious, or just not quite yourself? Take a second to breathe with me.
So funny, man. Like that dog is the part of my hero growing up.
Yeah, but I think his movie would have been fantastic, I think, if he got to do it.
Which film might get me?
Which one?
In England, he knows all the actors.
Yeah, I wonder how people get into acting. Like if you wanted to pitch that kind of book, the Arwello movie, I wonder how that process would work.
It's probably very difficult due to the intellectual property as well, right? Because Queen are probably very protective of their brand. That's because why? Right? It's like for their music, and I want it to be like a character study.
Right. In the case of Queen, the difficulty is getting the rights from the people that hold it. Since he gained notoriety while he was alive, while there was copyright, his family will control it, or the band, or both, and you'll have to negotiate with those parties. Which is why the simple answer to your question is the way to get any movie made is mostly networking. You get to know the people that are already making movies, and then they know how to do this thing or that thing, or who to find and get to do that, which is also why there's constantly complaints of nepotism. Because it's really just a question of, do you know people that can do this and that, and do you know what things you need to put together a movie?
It was really sad. He wasn't even close to his family. In fact, like much of his turmoil and distress came from like.
Council members and supporters will
Who are you talking about, Narcissist? Oh, because he's gay, and I didn't know he came from a Muslim background, actually. I actually never knew that.
The Native Americans and their sympathizers plan to begin a death watch tomorrow.
You know who else was?
Christopher Columbus Day.
Guys, you know who else was
slave trader instead of an explorer. It's a queer bisexual.
You gotta admit, they
No, but Narcissist, you know who else was bisexual? No, you know the song that he did with David. You guys know David Bowie, obviously, right? Yeah. He's bi, and he married a Somali woman, Iman Damaro.
No, he's not bi. He tried to be gay.
Even today, they put up their nose at us like
That's what I'm saying. Like Freddie Mercury works with men, but also that's bi.
I don't care who's doing it.
Wanted to be gay.
This guy had no view.
He was just a very queer person.
And no life. Using my song and I'm
for God's sake. Like, to look queer or to just look gay was the thing.
my song and now he can't help but
Marlon Brando was more gay.
Aspired to be gay.
This is a if mine have gone down here.
Yeah, I heard those rumors, yeah.
This is a gospel for every single like that. Watch this Santa get his smile. I am a moving vehicle. If mine have gone down here,
The nepotism thing, I think, is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just certain people will work in a certain field.
Gay and it's
Nepotism
happens everywhere. Nepotism is just
exactly
of the power of networking. If you know how to do accounting because your uncle is an accountant and your brother is an accountant, you're gonna know a lot more about accounting than your random guy just going to accounting.
You're just a exactly, and if you know a lot about banking, you're gonna bank. That's just the way it works.
You're gonna be shut up. Who said you're Jewish? That was really good, Caleb.
No, I was thinking something similar. You took a long time to just say Jewish.
Why are you guys all atheists?
I'm not an atheist.
Yes, you are.
I'm a religious Jew.
No, I'm talking to the Jews.
I'm not an
I feel
atheist.
like there's maybe one confirmed atheist in the room.
Especially
not
like
atheist.
the real
There's
hardline
not
blood,
atheist. Sam is the only atheist.
especially like the hardline blood and soil nationalist Zionist types. You guys are like really atheists.
I don't see any hard line, blood and soil.
I think he's
That's
talking
it,
about
that's
Sam. Sam, are you a hardline blood and soil atheist?
I am into fruit and blood.
Blood and soil Zionist.
Root and blood.
Atheist.
That's how atheists has become.
But just to be clear, I think talking about Zionism is boring. And then if you get back to the Napoleon film,
You're a
and how it was a travesty.
It was a travesty. I agree with you, Sam.
They could have made a way better movie showing Napoleon's
I thought it was
strategic genius. Like instead of showing Napoleon's strategic genius and charisma, they made him like a weird cuck who's depressed all the time. Like, do you think that's
Okay,
what
so
Napoleon was?
here's the thing. Here's
Napoleon
the
was a
problem.
fucking genius, a charismatic genius.
I
It really
agree.
was.
From this impressed with the whole. Yeah.
It's a simple problem. It's a simple problem. Here's the solution. The Napoleon film fails because the story of Napoleon cannot be told well in a movie. It needs at least a full series on TV.
Yeah,
I would
season
recommend
on
a
HBO.
couple series.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do.
You need the
There's
budget
supposed to be
for it
extra.
because you've got military battles.
Yeah,
But
I think.
it's a long story and it has so many twists.
Yes.
You can't do that in a movie.
That's true.
Apparently, Max said that the what's his face? The really famous one. Jesus, help me. Ice White Shot. What's his? Kubrick.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. No. Yeah, him too. No, Kubrick wanted. He had apparently a script ready for a Napoleon movie, and it was 1,500 pages. Right? He had a diary for every day, like one page every day of Napoleon's life.
It's an epic story. It deserves to be told.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Ridley Scott was not the man for the
In
job.
that movie, didn't he? Like,
Yeah,
he was-
yeah, but it's just not everything is.
Wasn't he not a cook though for Josephine?
A little bit.
He was.
Yeah, but the entire movie revolves around his cookiness. Like,
Yes.
throughout the freaking movie. He's like, you're right. And I thought it was a good one.
You know what?
blamed for this as well. Your people are subverting the great event of Europe's history.
Talking about art people, wasn't that Ridley Scott? Isn't he British or something? What the hell?
He is. You're right.
I'm not sure, Max. I want to see his early life page on
Although we
Wikipedia
should
first.
not be surprised. We should not be surprised if the British lambast Napoleon because they're the ones that made up the whole life story.
Mm-hmm. And he wasn't. He was 5'7", justice for Napoleon's height. I agree.
I'm sure.
He would be considered a short king today by human standards.
He was a short emperor.
No, it was literally just a cartoon that needed like a shorthand to say we're talking about the guy conquering Europe.
No pun intended. No pun
They made
intended.
it little because of like an editorial at some point, and then that just like stuck.
It's the British because when you see Jewish directors, when Jewish directors do Hitler movies, they show him normally, the way he was. They don't like make him look like, and he actually was a constipated like junkie weirdo like type person. He actually was, and they don't show him that way. I don't even think they ever showed that he was on drugs. Do you guys know the guy was high as a kite for most of the time? He was, you know,
High, but to be fair, Churchill was drunk and Roosevelt was covering up an illness before the entire world. So they were all like liars and cheats in their little way for that era. But yeah, he was high on methamphetamines because it was the super new wonder drug, obviously. And Churchill was drunk the minute he woke up. And Roosevelt was suffering from polio and secretly building an atomic bomb that he didn't get to control because he died from the disease he was hiding from everyone a minute short, giving Truman the decision to use a bomb that he had no idea what it cost to create.
There's famous footage of Hitler during one of the Olympics in that era, where he's just like shaking and trembling and totally tweaking out. It's very interesting.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. There's a footage of him. You could see his hand shaking, and this was like right before the last time they ever seen him, and you could see his hand was shaking. So yeah, he was totally on some serious stuff. But he was always portrayed well in all the films that Spielberg, all of them made of him. But my favorite is Jojo Rabbit. That was such a cute movie. Please watch.
Spielberg had him in The Last Crusade as a gag. He signed
the book. Yeah.
He signed the sacred Indiana Jones book that he needed to get to the Holy Grail. Which is a fun kind of like, hey, if you found that book ever and it finds the map and there's a signature from Adolf Hitler, like, I guess.
That's still a really tense scene, yeah.
Have you guys seen the men who stare at ghosts? Is that what it was like?
George Clooney?
Yeah, was it a good one? Did you think?
It was okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Clooney is, good
The
actor.
author of the book that that's from is one of my favorite journalists of all time, John Wilson. All of his stuff is good.
Speaking of journalism, did you guys see George Clooney, the op-ed he wrote, and now he's getting so much flack for it. But he came from a journalist's family, and he's the one who basically outed Biden. It's so crazy actually that he was the one that outed Biden for being senile, I think, or something. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, George Clooney's nice. Yeah, I like his movie.
He's so bloody hot.
I just looked up the most expensive autographs ever sold. Apparently George Washington sold for $9.8 million, one of his autographs. And then Lincoln, then Einstein.
What? Einstein is good.
Yeah, Einstein's God letter sold for $2.9 million in 2018. It's a letter where he discusses his views on religion and God.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is pretty valuable.
There's a movie on Putin now, actually. Did you guys see the trailer for it? It's completely insane. Like, they make him look like he's autistic and, like, antisocial and, like, just Terminator type of thing. It's, like, totally not what Putin's like, but it's just funny that they made him look like that. But, yeah, it's a whole film. And guess what? It's being made in Poland, of all places. Like, what the hell?
I don't know, I think he's kind of like that. Like, I've read about biographies of his life pre
personality?
Putin?
Yeah.
No noticeable personality. That's an interesting way to describe someone.
You know, he actually comes across like he's funny, but the Belarusian leader is fucking hilarious. Like, this guy said, people kept telling him he's a dictator because he's been in power for almost 20 years, and then he said, I don't have enough resources to be a dictator. That was the guy is funny, man. But I think, yeah, he is funny.
He sounds like a struck.
I can't wait, y'all. Y'all about to make me lose my goddamn mind.
You must be new here. We have to go easy on Desi.
Man, I swear to God, I hate white people. They always come in here sounds of fool.
He's really new here.
He is new. He did admit it already, so we do have to treat him like a new participant.
I know that.
But he's a fighter, though.
What's your thing, Clubhouse?
Well, I'm fighting, but I will go to sleep eventually. But like, fuck, y'all are ruthless. These motherfuckers ruthless on this.
This
room's not
ruthless, motherfucker.
Yeah, go to chillism for a little bit. You'll have fun over there. Yeah, don't go to chillism. It's actually a horrible place. I wouldn't recommend it, but that's the example of that.
I'm sorry, James. What?
He's been getting beat up all morning, y'all.
I'm sorry, James. What?
I told them you've been getting beat up all morning. You walked in the bathroom and they start calling you cracker.
Yeah, but they don't know that. They don't know that.
They just literally start. Why do you shut your mouth, cracker? You white cracker, shut your mouth.
I grow better beard than you, Bobby.
Yes, I'm new to the app. I'm a newbie. Hey, everybody fucking track shit on me, whatever. Make a picture or whatever, and
Yo, mute up, cracker. Mute up. I don't want your opinion, cracker. You mute up.
Your voice is gonna stay like that, Keegan.
I love that they think that I'm in.
I don't know who he's mimicking because he does the same thing to Miss Parker.
I think that's just his like female voice.
That's just his mimic voice. Anybody who mimics.
But he sounds like that.
No, that's my mimic voice for a black woman.
Oh.
You realize you sound more like...
Are we done now?
You sound more like... No, we'll come back to you later. You sound more
are we
like...
done now?
Bobby,
we'll
keep
talking.
Are we done now?
We'll come back to you later.
Yeah, we're
Keegan,
done.
you sound more like an old woman than
But does it sound a little black or it's just an old white woman?
It just sounds like an old woman.
An old country woman.
Yeah,
you just have a country accent.
Okay. You would then.
You gotta work on it.
I gotta work on that.
Yes, there's people where you need to be loud.
Y'all gonna miss me when I'm gone.
We won't even remember you 30 seconds later, Bobby. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, see, someone else has James' picture now. You see?
But I'm flattered. Obviously, we need more Jameses on stage. If everybody could immediately change their photo to mine.
I hate you so much. I hate your face, bro.
You look like you hate me. That looks like hate. That does not look like love having my photo of yours.
Here's the thing, bro. I might have voted for Trump too, and I get you, but like I literally hate you.
I
don't
care.
vote for Trump.
I hate you too, Bobby. Bobby, shut your mouth, sir. I hate you. What do you mean you hate James? You don't even know James.
You don't even know me. What?
You don't even know James. What are you
just made me a day.
What is this voice now, Keegan?
That's a white woman, Melissa.
What is this
No,
voice?
that's a transformer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A transformer. That's a good training.
A country training.
I just got on my tea yesterday.
Oh wow. Here we are. What do we do from here, guys?
Bobby, can you stop trying to control everything?
Yeah, we'll come back to you later. It's
That's
just
my fault. That's my fault to do that.
It's organic.
Yeah, go sit in your Ford fucking Ranger and shut up for a little bit.
Bobby, what do you do for work?
First off, bitch, it's a fucking F-150 and it's a King Ranch. So shut
Well,
the
it
fuck
should
up.
be a Ford fucking Ranger. Ford fucking Ranger superior at all times. You're a fake country poser. You probably ain't even from Bama. You're probably from the north and moved down there.
guy.
We'll
Alright,
silence
you're right.
that laugh. That
No,
was
no, you're
weird.
right. You're right. No,
That's
you're
some
right.
of that chewed tobacco.
You're right.
So how did you
I knew I hated you.
how
You
did
gotta have a
find
full
this out?
fucking ranger if you're in Bama.
Oh, I'm
Bobby,
sorry.
I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna put a picture of my truck.
Yeah, where else you gonna put your cousin's dad?
Oh God.
And he said he finna take a picture of the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him. I paid him. That's good shit. If he really does it. If he really takes a picture of the fucking post.
Dude, we can't have new people on this app, guys. This is too.
But he doesn't know he can stay. Why did he leave?
We're gonna.
He went to go take a picture. There's no way I paid him
to leave to change
Dang,
it.
you about a white center boy.
I was advocating for him, but he did just say for no reason he doesn't like James. Like he just said out of nowhere.
Because of the red.
Yeah, he said I don't like you.
But he said he voted for Trump. I don't get it. I don't. What's his problem?
He said he was smarter than
Well,
James too.
Yeah, it's an ego thing.
You gotta
I am what he
everybody
wants.
knows that you wouldn't have voted for Trump.
Yeah.
I don't vote for Trump. I hate Trump.
Well, you're a little bitch.
We know
That's
you
okay.
voted for Kamala.
I love Kamala. She's my black queen.
She's
I
not
don't
black,
believe
but
that you're really
she's
so
a
bitch. I
color.
think you're just being joking, so I'm just gonna say that you're a little bitch again.
Jim, why don't you like our black queens? I love our black queens.
As far as I know, Jazzy didn't run for office.
And if Jazzy does, I'll support her financially. I'll give to the.
You donated to Kamala? Are you serious?
Got to. I got to support.
We have to chicken. Pick this
You had to
fucking
pray
traitor.
for Beyonce to show
Black
up.
lives matter. Black lives.
This is literally the longest PTR change in the history of Clubhouse.
Well, he had to go take the pictures first.
He doesn't have it already on
You
his
gotta,
phone.
you gotta get the angles right.
Oh,
You can't tell. No, you can't tell me somebody who had that truck doesn't take a million pictures of it every day.
Yeah, if you got an $80,000 truck, you're taking pictures of it.
A real country boy is proud of his Ford fucking Ranger. We even have a song about it. I know that truck, I'm no stranger. I know that truck, it's a Ford fucking Ranger. Bobby bitch is back. What's up? Where's the photo, Bobby? Let's see it.
All that time, didn't even change it. Oh my God.
God, I'm disappointed.
Take a guess what I drive, everybody. Take a guess. What is my vehicle? Even worse than a Prius. Is the 2016 Smart Car.
Bullshit.
Yep, legitimately, not even joking. Love it. It's the best car I've ever had.
You're a terrible Trump supporter.
I'm always
I'm not sure
wondering,
how.
how do you fit groceries in that thing?
I don't. I
Real
didn't
Trump
have a car
supporters
with
don't
that.
drive fucking, yeah, I mean, like those smart cars and shit.
The smart car is not a smart car. It's just a golf cart that can go 90 miles an hour.
You don't remember those little like smart cars they had for a little bit that had the 2 doors, and that was it. There was no back or anything.
What's super funny is after I bought mine, all of a sudden everybody has one now.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. That's what he has.
It's a little miniature car. It's a little fucking tiny car that you don't want to get on the highway with every new buy.
Yeah, the Chevy Sport, yeah, I can push that shit up.
I don't think I've ever hated someone so much more than you, James.
That's completely fine. Hate and love are
Damn,
really
that's not a lot.
There's so many worse people on this app. James could be annoying, but
That's true. That's true. I love you, James. I love you, James.
I told you, see, very similar emotions. See how quickly it flipped? I already knew you loved me. That's what hate means.
Well, hey, calm down a little bit. I just kind of like you. You're my favorite person.
It's okay, I like you. You're my favorite person as
okay,
well, Mom.
pause.
Okay, thank
Bob,
you.
you look passive aggressive pussy.
Should we go on our first date tomorrow?
No, you can't afford me.
Which Bobby's the real Bobby? I'm confused now. There's 2 Bobbies here.
Hey, that's not because of me. This one's me over here. I don't know who that is. What I'm saying, bro, is I respect your politics as much to the fact that we can talk about it, you know? That's all I'm saying, bro. And I've always been a conservative Republican.
How do you feel about annexing Mexico?
How do you gotta phrase that different.
No, I literally mean it in the exact policy I'm phrasing it as. That's the policy I advocate
to a
for.
Republican right now. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so how do you feel about annexing
You need to ask
Mexico?
me that
I, as a
question the
Republican,
right way.
I said it the right way. Do you want to take? I want to take over Mexico. I want Mexico and its
You
4
wanna take
provinces
over
to
Mexico.
join as a state. And the United
Wants to take over Mexico. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I hear you. So you're saying, what do I think about annexing Mexico?
Yes. 100%. Yeah, that's the question. I asked it.
Okay, 100%. I'm gonna give you that answer, and it's like, that's a lot of red tape, bro. Is it not?
Red tape. What is that? Some illusion that you just put forward.
Years and years of litigation.
I'm not so sure. And guess what? Years and years of litigation. Years go by pretty quickly. We're now almost 12 years into a Donald Trump era.
Hey,
That's
I'm all
plenty of time to annex
for deporting everybody too that doesn't need to be here.
No, I don't like
get
the idea of deporting them. I want to take them and make every single person in Mexico a citizen of the United States. All of them.
Boom. Then we're in agreement, right? What I'm saying is,
well, then you need to support James, because I'm your leader. I have the red hat on, and I will be your president.
understandable. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to go on my grandmother's wishes, saying that like, maybe this isn't the best thing for our country.
Is Grandma alive?
Grandma is alive, James.
Well, in 10 years, will Grandma be alive? The question I have is, should we base our future on the wishes of the dead? No, we should not. We are the living, we determine it. We should not determine that the country should stay forever this way, where we have these people coming in forever and everything's just the same way, because dead people said so. Fuck the dead people. They're
Fuck the dead people, yes.
Wait, so Jazzy, why don't you talk to them how you talk to me? I knew it was just a personal thing.
Okay, we can have this conversation.
Nah, Jazzy don't like black people.
Something, bro.
You're right, I love them. And I'm busy, I'm reading. Something y'all niggas need to do, and y'all wouldn't do so much.
You look how she talk that. How do you know them white people?
Pick up something and read it.
How you know them white people?
Pick up something and read it.
Hey, Bobby, fuck your dead niggas.
Fuck my what?
James, fuck your dead niggas.
Fuck my dead niggas?
No, can y'all
watch your
stop?
mouth, cracker.
Hello?
That's crazy flip after saying that and then telling him to watch his mouth after. Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. Fuck both y'all's dead niggas.
Bro, why did you even come in here? You know?
My people in here, bro. This is a black supremacy room. This is a black power room, bro. What are you talking about? A black power room is crazy.
This ain't no black.
We're black Americans in here, bro.
I'm sorry.
This is an American supremacy room. Oh, Tim Trump on my phone.
This is a black.
Nigga, this black American here.
Yeah, black American, bro. You tripping, bro.
Okay.
Why would your dumb white ass come in here?
Because I care about America.
Well, you need
Who the fuck you don't?
No, the fuck I don't.
No, broke boy.
Now, this is an American supremacy room. Obviously, it's by Baby has the Make America Great Again hat on it inside of it. No, it is, Tato. You're the 100% it.
Shut up, cracker.
Shut up, cracker.
I wear this hat because I hate black people from this.
Nope, that's not what it's about. Please stop trying to divide.
Nigga, shut up, nigga.
Well, the fact that
That's
you're trying to
what
argue
this hat
that
symbolizes, hating niggas.
it shows how pathetic your argument actually is. It's great. I love that you guys.
This is
You
insane.
think the success of
This
America
hat
is
means,
the success of white people means hating white.
me and my people
And that doesn't translate to regular
don't
people. That makes you seem really fucking stupid to regular people. And that's
That's what this hat means. That's what this hat means. This is symbolized for terrorists and fucking just oppress.
Hey, let me tell you
Yes,
what that
keep
hat.
saying it. Because the more
Let me
dumb
tell
you
you-
look, the better that actually looks to regular
Let me tell
folk.
you. Baby, okay. baby. Let me tell you what the hat means. That means you went to Instagram, found his photo, and put it on your fucking thing.
Oh, you're a genius. You're a genius.
I'm not a genius, but you act like you are, so let's hear yours.
Shut up, white boy. I'm gonna fuck your bitch.
Shut up, white boy. I'm gonna fuck your bitch. I'm gonna fuck your bitch.
I'm gonna fuck your bitch and make her squeal like a pig.
Did anybody tell Bobby what trolls are in Clubhouse?
No, you don't.
I'm gonna let you go on with that. Shut up, white boy. I'm gonna fuck your bitch. When I ask you a simple.
I'm gonna twist that titties, nigga, and make her squeal like a pig.
And can I say anything else? Can I say anything else? Yeah.
They're trolls. They want you to respond. They're having fun with you.
Hey, this nigga Bobby, a white dude.
Welcome back to another episode of Low IQ Dumb People, talking about nothing, wasting a perfectly beautiful Thursday morning, talking about nothing, wasting all that fucking time on a beautiful Thursday morning.
Once you get bigger, right, bigger societies, it's a lot harder to do that.
It is an interesting notion, though, especially with like AI and the advent of it.
Jesus, it's fucking explosive over here. What the fuck?
You could instantaneously translate people's desired results with perceived effect. And you can do it instantaneously with an avatar, communicating amongst the person and the listener. It's interesting.
I don't know. I think there's the human element that's removed from it. I don't know how I feel about that. Are we like too old for this? Like, I'm starting to sort of feel age with the whole avatar business going on. I don't like it much. I don't know how you.
I think that if we lived in a world with like the thousands of different marks and narcissus and stuff, the form of government that would probably happen is there'd be the Sam, the king of the Sams that I would elect, that would like have policies. Like the Sams would make treaties with the marks, and the living said like we'd have like different clans that we like make alliances with each other.
I also kind of weird. I don't think that all the Sams would get along and agree on who the king was. Secondarily, like, what's funny about your analogy, I thought you were just gonna like take it whole hug and just say that is the planet we're on because we all came from whatever humans there were a while back. But over here with like the Sams, the next obvious question is what happens when some of the Sams mate with some of the Narcissuses? Which clan do they belong to?
No, it makes either a Sam or a Nargis. Like
Either or.
Is it matrilineal or
Narcissus argue over that definition.
Stop.
The thing that's challenging is we'd have to make way more Nargisses because our society only has mixed identity as marks and Sams. We'd have to like selectively make more Nargisses so that we can like equalize the gender ratio in the society.
There's more Jew around me right now than there's ever been. Shalom, baby, shalom.
Have you ever seen that meme with like the blacks.com meme with like the little blonde girl and all the black guys around her? That's you, right?
I'm gonna be so miscommunicated from my tribe right now. I don't give a.
Nargis, join the Jews. Nargis, you.
Oh,
we're smart. We're smart.
Senegardi came around to agree with me.
What? What did you say?
Yeah, I gave him the name of my teacher, the head of my rabbinical school. And he's like, oh, I love what this is.
Caleb, why did you share? He's on and on with panentheism. He can't tell the difference between pantheism and panentheism.
I know.
There's so much strife because of that. That's why you shouldn't share any philosophical concept. Unless he's reading through them. I offer to share everything I have on Spinoza in the form of books.
Oh, I bet he'd like Spinoza.
Why would he? He calls it my God, like the pagan God, just cause I take to Neoplatonism. It's like, bro, for God's sake, like what's the correlation between?
See, what I find interesting is that like the modern intuition. He's American, right? So he has like these modern intuitions about the unity of all things and pluralism and all that kind of stuff. No. But the other side of him is no. I have to be like a pure Muslim, right? So I think I see this like great tension within him of like his Americanness and his like.
Like I told him, he's Spinoza.
Yeah, so he dislikes Spinoza for some reason, which is funny, and that's because I think he hasn't read it, and it's all about ChatGPT and all about that surface knowledge that Gen Z kind of craves and runs after, which is like, bro, like
Even like
it's
his writing style.
yeah.
Narcissist, you're a perennialist.
What?
You're a
I am.
perennialist. So you accept all religions are true. You should instead leave
Not
Islam.
all.
Join,
I think that's
join Judaism.
What?
Judaism has a mystical tradition. We got the Kabbalah.
I know.
We got so many funny Jews that are really smart and artistic. Like, leave Islam
Listen,
alone.
Caleb and I, why would I be perennialist then? I just have to be Shalom Jew.
Well, I'm just saying you have a special emphasis on Islam, and I'm saying switch the emphasis.
Well, just
Switch the emphasis from Islam to Judaism.
a second, just quick clarification. Why is it impossible to be a perennialist Jew?
Or a perennialist Muslim, or a perennialist Hindu, or a perennialist
Yeah. Right? What about perennialist?
He's trying to convert me this time. This
No,
time.